How wonderful it is to see you all at Mass and those who are still viewing online. Many people I've been speaking to, parishioners who have received their vaccines and are coming back to church, and welcome our school children in our school to be here today. And also, today is a special day because we have our catechumens and candidates with us today. Those are men and women and children who are preparing to enter the church at Easter and become Catholic, baptized, confirmed, receive their Holy Communion. And today, in a little bit, they're going to do something special. It's called the enrollment of names. This Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, yeah, they're going to meet the bishop for what's called the rite of election, where the bishop officially welcomes them in this last stage of their journey. And today, they're going to write their names in the book of the elect, which is that idea that comes out of the book of Revelation, that our names are written in the book of life, and you, by your own will, are going to sign your name in that book today. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? But we'll do that here in just a little bit. But I have a question for you first. This is a question for all of you. Have any of you ever met somebody who's really needy? Have you ever met a really needy person? I saw someone today who was super needy. He was staring at me in the mirror this morning. Because we all are. And that's what the theme of our preaching during Lent is that we really are needy people. But having needs isn't bad. God created us to need things. God created us to need food and water and all kinds of our basic needs. God created us to desire and need relationships. God gave us that. But the difficulty is that somewhere along the line, as the book of Genesis points out in that beautiful story of Adam and Eve in the garden, we as humans, our ability to control those needs kind of went sideways along the journey. That is, that we are not able to control ourselves as we ought to. In other words, I need food, but do I really need that much? I need relationships, but do I need to have them in this kind of a context? I spend a lot of time in the confessional, both as a confessor and as a penitent, and I've really come to see that pretty much all of our causes for sin are because one of our needs has went sideways and we've abused it in some way. Or maybe that's just me. We have needs, but our needs have gone sideways, our ability to control ourselves and our needs. Does that make sense? Lent is a time for us to just recognize that and then to enter into that personal battle. But today what I want to speak about is that, yes, we have all of these needs for things, but ultimately God created us for a fundamental need, and that is a need for God. We were created with this need to be in relationship with God, but the challenge is that my other needs overwhelm and drown out the voice that my heart is calling out for God, and so I look for love in all the wrong places, as the song went, huh? We can sometimes think that, I know I can be this way, as I have these needs, these desires, and again, they're not bad things, they're all rooted in good things. But I've gone sideways a bit in my own life, and I can begin to think that, oh, if I just have this need met, I'll be happy. If I just have this need met, I'll be happy. So young people in here, young people in the room, how many of you have ever thought this? Oh man, I can't wait till I get my driver's license. Any of you preparing to get your driver's license? Think, oh man, when I finally get my driver's license, that'll be awesome. Like, that'll be the best. And then I get my driver's license and I feel so happy. And then mom and dad start having me do all kinds of errands and it's not so fun anymore. So then I think, okay, once I graduate high school, then life's going to get amazing. And you graduate high school and it's so awesome. And then all of a sudden that doesn't feel so good anymore. And it's like, okay, that's done, now what? That need doesn't go away. Then I think, well, then if I go to college or if I get married. And so I get married and I'm like, oh man, nothing could ever be better. Right, married people? And then we think, well, maybe if I just get that job, then it'll be great. Oh, once we have a child, then it's going to be amazing. And you keep achieving all of these things, but yet the need never goes away, doesn't it? It's not like your needs are like, yep, I'm good. I'm never going to ask for anything again. Our needs are hungry. They just keep asking for more. So you have the child, and now we want a promotion, and now we want a house, and now we want to renovate the house, and now we want a truck. And then it just never stops, does it? Our needs just keep going and going and going and going. That's what I mean by it's gone sideways. And underneath all that, God is saying, your greatest need is for me. But you're looking for me in all the wrong places. None of these things, in the end, will satisfy you. They'll bring you some happiness in the moment, but they're not going to satisfy you. And so that's what Lent is about. Lent is about us stopping and putting a wrench in those gears that are sort of running this neediness in my life. And we throw the wrench in those gears by doing something called fasting and almsgiving and prayer. The Lenten sacrifices and disciplines put a wrench in that needy machine, because here's what happens. During Lent, we stop feeding our needs, literally, so that we can begin to reassess our life and hopefully hear that voice of God again. Yeah, how's your fasting going? Oh, that's why we're supposed to fast? Yeah, Lent is a time where we should stop and take a break from just the incessant feeding of our needs to focus again on, where's God in my life really? And maybe I'm feeding these things in an unhealthy way. And Abraham today is a wonderful example in the first reading. Abraham is amazing. God tests the faith of Abraham in the reading today. Abraham, like all of us, was longing to have his hopes and his dreams met in having a son, Isaac. Him and Sarah were longing for that unmet desire. And finally, God gave them that. You know the story. So now he has Isaac. And Abraham is seemingly feeling fulfilled. But God wants to test Abraham's faith and make sure Abraham's faith is in the right thing, God. And so God says to Abraham, Abraham, I need to test your faith. Who do you love more, me or Isaac? What's more important in your life, the things of this world or me? So I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to let Isaac go. Dang, that's big, isn't it? I'm going to ask you to let Isaac go. And Abraham was willing to do that. Abraham was willing to say, the only reason I have my life and Isaac is because of you, so I'll do whatever you ask. And so he's willing to give up Isaac. That's why Abraham's the father of our faith. That's why he's the man. And as he's getting ready to sacrifice Abraham, God says, stop. Don't. I understand your faith. I don't want to take away all of your hopes and dreams. I don't want to take them away. I just want you to be rightly ordered in your life. And Abraham, I see you are rightly ordered. So keep going as you are. And that becomes a model for all of us since the time of Abraham to today. And that question stands before me. Am I willing to let go of these things that I think are very important to me? Have I placed them above God? Have I placed them above God? Brothers and sisters, we can't. That's how we go sideways. We place things above God. And so Jesus Christ is the great example of what it means to be a human and to live a rightly ordered life, isn't he? And Jesus spent his life living what he preached, which was this: unless you deny yourself, you can't be my disciple. That's his teachings. Unless you deny yourself, you can't really be my disciple. If you're looking for me, if you're looking for true happiness and peace in me, but you're not willing to deny yourself, sorry, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. If you're not willing to be humble and take the last place, then this really isn't going to work out that well. Because the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So I just posed the question, the Lenten question for all of us today, and to wrap this up. Okay, how are you with your own neediness? Where is God really in your life? The church is asking us brilliantly during this time of Lent to fast and step back from feeding our needs so that we could reassess and reevaluate our life. So I invite you to enter into the sacrifice of Lent for real. And then Jesus says, now love the Lord your God with all your mind, your heart, and your strength, and your neighbor. In other words, focus on those things, not on yourself only. And things will begin to change. So I wish you a blessed Lent. You who are on this journey of conversion, catechumens, candidates, are you ready? It's your turn.